to the mind, to thought, to the conditioned mind, this might seem like a very boring thing to be aware of these sensations. It was like, it's nothing is happening. Let's read a non-dual book. Let's have satsang. Let's do something. Let's get rid of them. But if we look, so to speak, from the perspective of awareness, if we are this open, spacious, loving awareness that is welcoming, allowing the totality of our experience, besides thought appearing, passing by and dissolving, also this vibrational field, this sensational field. And as more is going on, as more sensational it is, so to speak. And it's very sensational for many at the moment because it's a lot going on. So we don't have to do anything with these feelings, with these sensations. We don't want to heal them, free them, enlighten them by willpower. That would be, again, thought trying to do something that it can't. We just want to be the awareness that is aware of them. As a whole, like when we're sitting here and listening to these words, consciousness is listening to these words right now. In the same time, we can be aware of this energy field, of this vibrational field, of this inner body in us, in consciousness, vibrating, dancing its dance of sensation as a whole, and just being aware of this inner body already makes sure that what comes up here and now is not going into a new hidden pocket, somewhere hidden in my subtle body that I have to deal with later. So in that way, we experience life, and whatever comes our way from outside or inside, doesn't matter, same, is integrated in the moment, in awareness. And in that way, at least we don't accumulate more feelings, sense of separation. That's a great deal already if we can live life, whatever we do, holding in our awareness this vibrational field dancing its dance. Sometimes more sensational, sometimes less, depending on the circumstances, the space we are in, the people we are with. The direct experience as awareness of energy, of our mind and the cosmic mind. That's the one side of the feeling, so to speak. And the other side is when we stop accumulating feelings of separation. And interestingly, as I tried to express in the beginning, as less we keep accumulating new, unprocessed, unintegrated experiences and feelings, as more, very often and very, very likely, we will experience old, unprocessed, unintegrated stuff to come up. And then maybe we see, like in the world these days, some people say, oh, nothing is going on. I don't feel anything. Everything is like, I just go to my work. And what are you talking about? Everything is fine. Nothing is different. But if we have cleared, so to speak, our mind, our subtle bodies from feelings of separation to a certain degree, and we don't keep adding, deeper stuff that was hidden maybe for a long time emerges, and that can be quite intense in the sense how it feels. And those feelings usually very often come up in relation to other people. It's us bringing to ourselves a form of consciousness of someone who is annoying or pushing our buttons. And some these days may push some very hidden buttons. So these feelings usually show up in a more specific way. So while we're holding this subtle field of the subtle body in our awareness, we might go deeper and discover, oh, this feeling of annoyance or resistance or even maybe slight anger or frustration, we can kind of meet it directly in the moment, or often it's not available in the moment because we're dealing with that person or that situation. So sometimes we go home and there is still this, or maybe the mind's still like, oh, I should have said this, and if I would have just had the right formulation, I would have won. The feeling is still kind of very often sitting there, unintegrated, unmet, unfelt, and we might even use thought to bring it back up, the situation. And then in the broader subtle body field of vibration, we can find, especially here in the midline, like vortexes or tensions or knots or stuckness or hardness, tightness, sensations that are connected to this particular feeling, to this particular frustration, this particular anger or sadness. And if we hold this sensation as loving awareness in an impersonal way, and what does it mean? Sometimes I like this example of like a benevolent, indifferent mother or father watching the kids on the playground without making them see that he or she is watching the kids. They are free to dance their dance, to play, but we have an eye on them. We don't want to kind of track down those feelings and like, oh, now I'm going to tackle you and make you gonna go away forever and I'm going to free you. That is not loving awareness usually. That is more, again, someone who wants to get rid of something which is not loving awareness. But if we can hold it in this loving, indifferent, benevolent, embracing way in and as the totality, and allow this particular sensation that might be stuck for a while, it might just feel like there is nothing moving. There's just like a flat numbness, and just by looking from this loving, open spaciousness perspective, not like the laser of the separate person, but from the totality, we may see that this feeling starts to dance its dance home back to consciousness. I'm still doing that. If I come back from town or from some situation, I may lay down or sit for a while and put thought away for a while. Don't investigate, don't think about the truth, don't engage in those, and allow just for a while these sensations to dance. It's dance, and it's to make sure that nothing remains. Also before sleeping, it's very good maybe for 10-15 minutes to just loving awareness, to let the day pass by, not only as thought but also as sensation, so we don't carry on into the night, into the dreams, and into the next day those unprocessed feelings. We'll come to your question in a minute, Leslie. Just to round that up a bit, this very important level of feeling in my experience. To the mind, to thought, to the conditioned mind, this might seem like a very boring thing to be aware of these sensations. It was like, nothing is happening. Let's read a non-dual book. Let's have satsang. Let's do something. Let's get rid of them. And very often, even the most subtle of those sensations, because there's layers of layers and layers, and on the front there might be the sensation of frustration, and underneath we will see that there's actually some boredom lurking, and we go deeper and deeper and deeper, and we don't even need to name them, but we find subtler and subtler expression of this sensations in our energy body. And as more subtle, as more fine, so to speak, they are, as more boring they are to the thought, to the conditioned mind, as more juice of separation they often carry still. It's like our own game. We're playing with ourselves, like we're hiding those to have something for later to feel separate about or bad about ourselves. So, but if we understand, and then also more and more experience, how clearing, how freeing, how enlightening in the literal sense, making us lighter, giving our avatars a lighter body, not carrying this heaviness with us to dance and play this beautiful life. As more we can see that this meeting of feelings in this most direct way is very, very beneficial to the avatar being able to play freely. And we may never get the confirmation from the conditioned mind or from thought, but in our life we will see, and we do see, many of us, the effects that we become much less reactive to situations and to people, and we are free to live not from this sense of separation that needs to protect this separate me, we can stay open and meet the world and other people in this open vulnerability, in love and understanding and togetherness and friendship, and life just becomes more beautiful.